perfect voice. A world-class act. 40 years of entertaining and winning. 4 decades of music capturing the hearts of people worldwide. She is Lea Salonga, and she takes us on her journey here in the program. Let's go straight to the source of the story, Miss Lea Salonga. Hi, Lea.
Hi.
Okay, 40 years. I have to say it's another milestone for you. Did you really think you were going to last this long?
I don't know that any performer ever thinks that they're ever going to have a career this long. I mean, it's a combination of luck, I think. I mean, yes, to have any sort of viable career, you need to work hard. You need to, you know, you got to put in the work. You have to put in the time. There's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of stuff that you have to give up, obviously. But yeah, it's kind of, it's incredible. Yeah, I'm still like caught.
Does it still surprise you that you've actually lasted this long?
Yeah. I mean, this is it's a very fickle business. It's not always kind. It seems to pick and choose who it'll nurture and take care of and who to spit out. And I'm just, I think I'm just one of the lucky ones that the business has chosen to kind of have stick around
Take
take care of.
More and more of you.
Yeah.
But if you were to look at your 40 years, is there, I don't know, is there a secret ingredient to actually last this long? Aside, of course, from the talent. Because there's so many talented
There are so many talented people.
Yeah.
And my brother and I were having this conversation with regards to talent and longevity and you know, how one lasts in this business. He's like, ultimately, I think it comes down to discipline and diligence and hard work and, you know, the willingness to stick it out and persistence and perseverance and all of those things. Mm-hmm. You need to think, you know, for that long road ahead. You know, you can't think of
just now.
Just now. Yeah, you have to be long-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Yeah.
You need to kind of imagine the end of a road. But I never thought that the end. I never thought that I'm still going. The road's still open, and I don't see an end in sight.
You're not at the end of the road at all. You're not at the end of the road.
No, I can't complain
At all. So we knew you. I've known you since before, but of course,
oh my God, we've known each other a long time.
I would say, okay, 1989.
Yeah.
It's a very important year for
Yes.
you. I hope I got the
Yes.
year right because you played
Yeah.
Kim in Miss Saigon. Did that just change everything for you?
Yes, it did. At the time I auditioned, I was in pre-med. I was in school, and I kind of thought that, you know, my life would be here, and that I would enter, you know, a more professional, white-collar type of existence, and that I would leave all of this behind. Mm. But I guess the universe had other plans for me, and then I auditioned in November of 1988 for Miss Saigon, which opened in 1989. And that was the year that pretty much changed everything.
Right? And I wanted to show you
Oh,
this.
Lord. This was this was taken in 1991.
I wanted to show this to you because this is the photo I remember of you.
Right.
I mean, this is a classic Lea Salonga photo. And when you look at it now, what does it remind you of?
I remember expectation, especially of people here at home, that had of all of us, and it seemed like there were so many pairs of eyes looking at this group of Filipinos that went. It felt like a pioneering group.
Absolutely.
You know? It's like, okay, this is uncharted territory. You guys, we're doing this together. You guys, I thank God that I wasn't alone in the endeavor. that I wasn't like this one person sent from here to go over there, and that would have been a very lonely existence. I mean, my mom was with me, but it would have still been a very lonely existence if not for the rest of the crew that ended up in ensemble and featured roles. People like Isay and Junix and John and Janine and so many of these people are still active.
I wanted to find out, what I read was, it was Celeste Legaspi. Is that true?
It's true.
It's Celeste
Oh my
Legaspi
God! Yeah, it
who
was.
convinced your mom to
Yeah.
have you audition.
Yes, it was. It was her.
And apparently your mom wasn't. She wasn't even so sure about it.
She wasn't
back
so
then.
hot on the idea, only because, I mean, she hears stories about so-called Hollywood producers that come and take advantage of
Right.
young women, and you know, and then that, as if the only intent for these foreigners coming to our shores was to take advantage of young women. But my mom was reassured after speaking at length to Celeste Legaspi. And I went to a lot of my college buddies, like the people I was really close to in school, because I was still like in my head, like, what do I do? I mean, for a lot of people, it's a no-brainer. You stop what you're doing in the Philippines and you leave and you do this and then whatever, and which is exactly what my friends all said for me to do. You stop whatever you're doing here, you leave this behind. One guy from my, I think my botany class, I don't even remember his name, but I remember his face and exactly what he said. This place will always be here. Ateneo's not going to go anywhere.
You mean you had second thoughts?
I was having many thoughts, second, third, fifth, umpteenth, and it was like, what are the pros or the cons of this? Because I mean, it was being driven in my head that I have to get my college education, that I have to get, you know, like many good Filipino families, you send your kids off to college, you finish your 4 years, and then you hope for the best. But this was different. You know, I was deep already into my college life, but all of my friends, without exception, they all said, that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that is being handed to you. You have to take it. For all of us, you have to take this. Take it, and then you're contracted for what? A year?
Yeah.
So go and do your year.
Miss a year of school,
Miss
maybe?
a year of school.
Yeah.
I mean, I can consider it a gap year.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And this is like the longest gap year ever. Go. This place is not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, you won't graduate with the rest of your class, but who cares?
So everybody pushed you.
Everyone
everybody
said, do
go.
it. Everyone
Yeah.
said, go.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone saying don't go.
You know, it's not like I was dating anybody that would have said, but I will miss you. That wasn't happening, thank goodness. So I went.
Yeah.
And now the rest is history, I guess.
How do you feel when people always say that it was Lea Salonga who actually paved the way for Filipinos to actually make it abroad?
They're giving me a whole lot of credit.
How do you feel when people always say that it was Lea Salonga who actually paved the way for Filipinos to actually make it abroad, to theater abroad?
They're giving me a whole lot of credit. I mean, it's a nice thing to think about, but I can't claim all of it because we were such a big group that went. And I think if not for that, I don't think I would have been able to do what I was able to do. There's so much credit that needs to go to every single Filipino from that first production of Miss Saigon that showed a lot of artists who were still here. It can be done. So
But that's
dream
really-
big. I mean, libre naman ang mangarap eh.
Oo.
You know?
Pero ilan lang ang natutupad yung ganong kalaking pangarap?
Yeah, yeah, but it's, you know, my dad said, you know, stuff like this, I mean, opportunities like this, it's a combination, it's like 100, it's added up to 100%, but 99% of it is perspiration, preparation, the 1%'s luck.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you have to be ready for when the opportunity actually drops in your lap, because if you're not ready for it, wala rin.
it's gonna slip away.
Yeah, it's not even going to happen. You won't be able to see it through.
And everything else followed, Lea, after
Yeah.
that. You know, after Kim, everything else, one after the other. Movies, obviously concerts. Filipinos were waiting for you to come back here in the Philippines and perform here. There was a performance you had in 2014 that I think that was the first time you introduced your daughter. Or
think
it was the
so.
first time she probably sang on stage
It's
at the
like
PICC.
2014, I think, yeah, when we repeated Playlist. Because we did it in 2013 and then we repeated it like many months after. Exact same repertoire with the addition of Nicole.
Right.
And she got up and she sang. And yeah, the crowd was just so happy to see her. And she was thrilled.
You know, I bring that up because everybody knows how big of an influence and who Mommy Ligaya is in your
Right.
life. And then you eventually, after all these roles you played, I guess the biggest role would be being a mother.
Right.
And being a mother to Nicole. How did it feel when you introduced her? You seemed really cool during the concert.
Yeah.
She was so cute, yet
was
shy.
adorable.
She was adorable. But were you so nervous, scared?
A little bit. I mean, she had rehearsed and she was prepared. She was ready. And Gerard was conducting and she would look at him and, you know, just keeping her eye on him. I knew that she would be okay, but I'm still mom. And she didn't want me to leave the stage, so I stayed and I sat and I was watching. And she did fantastic. I mean, for somebody who's like that tiny and young and in front of a crowd that big.
Right.
I don't know that she expected it to look like that. I think that's the part that got her.
But at
she's
least
done it a few times since and she's been all right.
Yeah. So people they say you have a beautiful voice, a perfect pitch. I know you do not really want to use the word perfection, more excellence than perfection. Why do you make it sound so easy? Why do you make it look so easy to sing? Like when I watch you, it's almost like you're just breathing.
I think part of it is that I've been doing it for so long that
Yeah.
it feels like it just feels like a natural thing. It's like an extension of me. But I also work at it. I practice. Yeah. I sing. I sing when I'm at home. Apologies to my husband that, you know, and my kid. I put in the time, and I just really enjoy it. I just really like what I do.
Lea, was there ever a time you got tired of singing?
I don't think so. I think I've not ever really experienced that thing called burnout.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been times in my life where I get sick, I lose my voice, but I don't ever really remember it getting to a point, especially as the older that I got, that I wanted to just throw it all away and say, I'm done. And I think for as long as God keeps me healthy and alive and the opportunities still keep coming, I can't be done.
We want to get to know you better through your friends. You are very professional, they say.
Okay.
They praise you for your work ethics. And in fact, you've gone far more than just memorizing your lines. Apparently, you also memorize other people's lines. Is that true?
That kind of just happens because when you rehearse, you hear your own lines, you hear somebody else's line, and then after enough time, you just memorize everybody else's. And I did that a lot as a kid. I think it was just the kind of memory that I had, and it was just, you repeat something often enough, it'll just stick. And that just happens.
You know who said that?
Who?
Menchu Lauchenko and Chris Villonco. They said you have such a photographic memory that you actually memorize other people's lines. Two people are saying this. You are the simplest and nicest person to work with.
Aww.
Rahul Laurel and Juan Sarte say that about you.
Oh my gosh, I'm flattered. And I have to say the same about both of them. And they're very no nonsense. It's no egos. It's communication's always very direct and very honest. We end up laughing with each other a lot when we're working together. That's really nice. It's really nice of them to say. I mean, these are both people that I have worked with for a very long time, so they know me well. Especially Juan. I mean, Juan and I have been, I mean, I work with a lot of makeup artists, but he did my makeup the day I got married. he had done so many concerts. Like, it was always him that we would get. He has done commercials, print and TV. So it's like he just knows. And keeping it simple and being nice is never a bad thing.
It's a really good thing to say about someone. Somebody said you're no diva. You're not a diva at all. In fact, when you used to go out in New York, you didn't even want to talk about work. You were just really this simple girl who talked about everything else but work. And
Right.
this is Yvette Fernandez.
Yeah, she served as the matron of honor at my wedding. We first met, she came to the stage door after watching Miss Saigon. She had a few friends with her. Margot Ortigas was actually one of them also, who was one of my classmates from grade school. So yeah, we go that far back. But yeah, Yvette and I are very, very close. And we have seen each other through a lot of life stuff. As in, I remember she was going through some relationship crisis, as all young people do. And this is before cell phones. So I'm on the phone with her, like there's a public telephone, like phone booth kind, just off of the stage door in London while I was doing Les Mis at the Palace Theatre, and there was a phone, and I could hear my cue. It's like, wait, Yvette, wait lang. I have to appear on stage. I'll
get back to you.
I'll be back. I left the phone. People knew that I was on the phone. Nobody ever really touched the phone. I went on stage, I did something, and then I came off, and then I picked up the phone, and like, okay, keep going.
Where were we again? Yeah.
Yeah, where were we, and what's happening?
Really?
Yeah. Because my dressing room was maybe 2 floors up, and I didn't want to have to run up all the way up those stairs just for a phone conversation. So kept it going on the same floor as the stage, and then went back, and I knew I had a long, I had a good chunk of time before I had to go back on stage again. So it was a perfect opportunity.
The 40th anniversary concert. Tell us how special this is for you, personally.
I think it's more disbelief.
And you will be back on stage, Lea Salonga, the 40th anniversary concert. Tell us how special this is for you, personally.
I think it's more disbelief. Yes, it is extremely special. Yes, it is a milestone concert. But I didn't want to celebrate it by looking back. We're all like, we have to look forward. We have to keep moving forward, which is why instead of, like singing all of the hits, I mean, people can just go to YouTube and get those performances. And we had already done that 10 years ago in another concert where we basically just went one right after the other, where it was like all the hits.
Yeah.
Because that was really the first time I celebrated an anniversary. But we're like, I'm still going. So we need to still keep going. So it's a lot of new material. It's a lot of challenging stuff that I've hardly ever done in public, but we'll finally get to do for the first time here, things like that.
Exciting.
So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
So it gives me something to look forward to rather than, I mean, for me, singing the old stuff it always feels new because, as you go through life, the meaning of the songs start to change. But it's fun to grab a whole new set of songs and celebrate by keeping a forward trajectory.
Yeah. Looking forward.
Yeah.
Is Nicole joining you?
Oh, yeah. My mom's producing the concert, and I think one of her mandates is that her first grandchild performs in the show. I think it makes her happy.
So
And she's a ham, so she's perfectly happy doing it.
we are congratulating you, number one, for 40 years, for
Thank
making us
you.
all so proud, for carrying the Philippine flag wherever you are.
Thank you.
And for a sold-out concert.
I'm still kind of in disbelief with that. I mean, when the tickets went on sale, I can't remember what date. The next thing I knew, we got the notice that it was all sold out. We're like, you've got to be kidding me. You know, and yeah, and one of our sponsors, you know, bought a nice chunk for clientele. But even then, that's not a guarantee of seeing the words sold out. And then we see for both nights. And so now my mom has to get those phone calls from friends and friends of friends.
Sorry.
Saying,
Wala na.
are there tickets available? And I mean, we've kept a few, but now even those are gone.
Yeah. We look forward to an amazing two-night concert for
It'll be
you.
fun. I think we'll all have a good time.
And again,
It's always fun.
and always good to have you on the show, Lea.
Thank you.
And again, it's just really a lot of blessings for you, for your family, Gerard also,
Yeah.
and your daughter. And we'll see you on October 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. So needless to say, I'm odds and ends, but that's me, I'm stumbling away, slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry. Take